Good morning, friends. The topic for today's discussion is the states and the union territories that are becoming the part of Union of India, guys. Guys, in the previous class we have seen the how India has been formed. Okay, formation of India topic we have seen, guys. So I am going to continue with the topic, and along with the topic I am going to take into another topic, that is how the states and union territories have formed right now, guys. Means at present we are having 28 states and 8 union territories. So we are going to see the timeline of the states, guys. Okay, so the topic for discussion is states or UTs becoming part of union, becoming part of union. Okay, guys. So guys, as I explained that in the 565 princely states, yesterday I made it is 552, guys, but it is 562. So out of 565 princely states, 563 have admitted in the Indian part. Sorry, 562. Okay, guys, but this I said as 552 in yesterday's class, guys. It is 562. But we have issue with the three princely states, that is the Kashmir, Junagadh and the Hyderabad. So with these three issues we have finally made them to get into the Union of India, guys. That is the Jammu Kashmir through the instrument of accession in the year 1948. So and finally it became as the union, that is became the statehood in the year 1956, guys. Okay, like that. So finally these three parts, these three princely states have also become part of the Union of India. Okay, guys. So if you see the yesterday's class, that is Article 1. Okay, guys. Article 1, that is India, that is Bharat, consists of the Union of States. Okay, guys. So there it's clearly mentioned that what does the India Union of States contains? The states, union territories, and any such other territory as acquired by the Union of India, guys. Okay. So if you take this discussion, guys, at the beginning, that is in the year 1950. So by the time we got independence and we have India, on that time we have 14 states and 6 union territories. Guys, we have 14 states. We have 14 states and 6 union territories, guys. Guys, this we have established through the State Reorganization Act 1956, guys. Okay, through State Reorganization Act 1956, we have 14 states and 6 union territories at the beginning, at the originality of the territory that we are having, guys. But right now we are having, guys, 28 states, 28 states and 8 union territories, guys. 8 union territories. We are going to see how we have formed this and what are the provisions, what are the things that we have discussed, guys. So before this discussion, I want to give some clarity, guys. Guys, we have the Act, okay, State Reorganization Act 1956. But in the same we have made the 9th Constitutional Amendment Act, okay, 9th Constitutional Amendment Act 1956. So what does the Constitutional Amendment Act mean, guys? Guys, if you see, we have 4 types of bills. We have 4 types of bills: the ordinary bill, constitutional bill, financial bill, okay, and the money bill. So these are the 4 bills we are having, guys. I repeat, guys: Constitutional Amendment Bill, ordinary bill, okay, financial bill, money bill. So about this financial bill and the money bill we are not going to discuss right now. So we are having the ordinary bill and the constitutional amendment bill. So what does this two signify, guys? So ordinary bill means if we have like we have State Reorganization Act 1956, that is ordinary bill, guys. If there is any change in the constitution, that is Constitutional Amendment Act, okay, that is Constitutional Amendment Bill. Okay, guys. So these two we are having distinctions. Clear, guys? So, and one more, so these are the types of bills, and we have type of majorities, guys. So type of majority to pass that bill. If the bill should pass in the both houses and become the president's assent, and after it will be attached in the Gazette of the India, guys. Okay, so we have three type of majorities: simple majority, special majority by a half of the state's ratification. Okay guys, so guys, about these details we are going to see in the some other class. Okay, so simple majority, guys, here the things comes, and I said special majority, guys. So special majority we have the article 368, guys. Means article 368 will deals with the constitutional amendment, guys. Guys, I want to do some clarity, so make sure that, okay, article 368 है ना. So article 368 deals with the constitutional amendment act. Okay, constitutional amendment. If any amendment should be done, it will be through the constitutional amendment, guys. So article 368 we are having the three type of majorities. Okay, simple majority, special majority, and the majority with the ratification of the half of the states, guys. But this one deals with the only the special majority and the special majority with the ratification of the half of the state, guys. Okay, done. Okay guys, clear? So I need to give clarity. Constitution can be amended in the three ways. Okay, that's why we are having the flexible and the rigid constitution. So constitution can be amended with the three ways: simple majority, special majority, and special majority with the ratification of the half of the state. Okay, and if you do through the simple majority, you should not require the constitutional amendment act. You can go through the simple ordinary bill, guys. So this point I want to focus. Okay, so constitution can be amended in three ways. Okay, with the simple majority, with the special majority, with the special majority, and with the ratification half of the state. Okay, so it does not mean that if you want to do any amendment in the constitution, you should go for only the special majority and the special majority with the ratification of the half of state with the constitutional amendment act. No, we can go through with the ordinary bill also. We can go through with the ordinary bills also. So in the ordinary bill, through simple majority, we can make the changes in the constitution, guys. Okay, so whereas the 368 will deal with the special majorities and with the special majorities with the ratification of the half of the state. So for the simple majority and with the ordinary bills, we are not going to take the help of the article 368 to amend the constitution. Guys, clear? Okay, so I think I have clearly explained what does the Constitutional Amendment Act and what is the type of majorities. Okay, so guys, in the Constitution, few provisions can be amended without the 368 also. For example, guys, if recently Telangana has been bifurcated from the Andhra Pradesh, but there's have changed in the Constitution, where that is the Schedule 1 and the Schedule 4. So in the Schedule 1, the name of the state has been entered, and in the Schedule 4, the seats for the Rajya Sabha has been explained. Okay, but does we have made through 368? No guys. Okay, but through simple law of the Parliament, we can make that amendment in the Constitution, guys. Okay, clear? So guys, so at present we are having 28 states and 8 union territories, guys. So how these 14 states have become into 28 states and 6 union territories to 8 union territories that we are going to discuss in right now, guys. And right now we are very important to know the Article 2 and Article 3, guys. What does Article 2 says? Article 2 says that establishment or admission of the new state, okay, establishment or admission of the new state to the Union of India and can form the separate state. Okay, so these provisions we are having in Article 2 means Article 2 explicitly clearly defines that part of the territory that is not the India, that is external boundary. If you want to do any external boundary, like for example, if we have the original the boundary like this we are having. Okay guys, clear? if it is original boundary, if we are taking any territory out of this region, that comes under the Article 2 guys, whereas Article 3 within the boundary. So within the territory of India we can make adjustment, that is Article 3 guys. Okay, so from 14 states to 28 states we have made both, that is the internal and external guys. Okay, and I start my discussion with the first one, that is Daman and Diu guys. So guys, the recent amendments are very important, that is the latest ones we are going to see. And the beginning I will start with the few things guys. So the Daman and Diu guys. Okay, so the Daman and Diu and the Goa. So before Daman and Diu we have Dadra and Nagar Haveli guys. So Dadra and Nagar Haveli through the 10th Constitutional Amendment Act guys, I repeat, Dadra and Nagar Haveli through the 10th Constitutional Amendment Act in the year 1960, it has become the part of the Union of India guys. So guys, we got independence in the year 1947, right? But it doesn't mean that the territories of India that we are not obtained guys. So whatever the part that we got, that is at our discretion. So but the Dadra and Nagar was under the Portuguese rule guys. But Dadra and Nagar Haveli was under the Portuguese rule till the 1961. Okay, so till the 1960 that is under the Portuguese rule. Okay, but in the year 1960 through the 10th Constitutional Amendment Act, we have finally got that territory into our union guys. That is as a union territory. Okay, okay guys, clear? 10th Constitutional Amendment Act 1960. And after that, the second one, that is the Goa. Okay guys, Goa along with the Daman and Diu. Goa along with the Daman and Diu in the 1962 through the 12th Constitutional Amendment Act, it has become the part of the union guys. That is as the union territory. Along with the Goa, the other two territories, that is Daman and Diu, has become the part of the Union of India through the 12th Constitutional Amendment Act in the year 1962. Okay, and after that the Puducherry guys, these are the one which are through the second Article 2 guys, because these are not within the country. I am discussing the provisions outside the country that we are acquired. But why? Because on the date of independence we are not acquired these territories. Okay, but they are adjacent to our territory guys. Okay, finally Portuguese left, so they tried, they lived, they did, and finally they left guys. Okay, so after that we have acquired those territories. Okay, clear? So I said this, so two type of acquirement, so within the internal and the external. So these are the external guys through the Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, and Goa along with the Daman and Diu in the year 1962, we have acquired those territories as the union territories. Okay, that is through 12th Constitutional Amendment guys. So after that we have acquired the Puducherry guys. Puducherry. So Puducherry was under the French rule. Okay, so again by the Puducherry. So Puducherry has acquired, that is the Puducherry we have the Karaikal, Yanam, Mahe. So that is in Kerala we are having some part in the Andhra Pradesh and in the Tamil Nadu. So these parts again we have made into the part of the Puducherry, and through the 14th Constitutional Amendment Act 1962, these have become the part of the Union of India guys. Union of India. Okay, so these are the few provisions guys. So these are the few provisions that have become the part of the India guys. Okay, and along with that, in the year 1975 guys, in the year 1975, Sikkim. So Sikkim through the 36th Constitutional Amendment Act, through this 36th Constitutional Amendment had become the part of India guys. Had become the part of India. Guys, I want to clear one concept here. Actually, Article 2 and Article 3 can be made through the ordinary laws. But this has become as through Constitutional Amendment, because on that time the International Court of Justice has made us to do the Constitutional Amendment Act. That's why we have made this. As we are the sovereign, but we need to follow the international organizations words. So because of that, we have made the 36th Constitution Amendment Act, and through those act we have made the Sikkim as the part of the Union of India, guys. Okay, and the Sikkim is also called as the organic state. Sikkim is also called the organic state, and it is the landlocked country, guys. It is the landlocked state. Okay, guys, in the year 1975, guys. So after 1975, in the year 1978, Arunachal Pradesh. In the year 1975, Arunachal Pradesh. So Arunachal Pradesh was also under the British, guys. Was also under the British. So through the army, they have came in under the part of the. So through the army liberation, that is in the 1961, these have become the part of the Union of India, guys. Okay, these have become the part of the Union of India. Okay, guys. So that is Arunachal Pradesh. So Arunachal Pradesh in the year 1987 had become the part of the Union of India. That is, it was a statehood. Okay, and the Goa, as I explained that. So Goa, along with the Daman and Diu, have got its statehood in the year 1987. Okay, but it got as the territory of India, because territory of India is separate from the statehood. So territory of India got in the year 1961 itself through the 12th Constitution Amendment Act. Okay, but it got its statehood in the year 1987, guys. Okay, so through the Police Liberation Army in the year 1961, finally they got the Goa along with the Daman and Diu, guys. Okay, guys, done. And after that, in the year 1970, in the year 1987, along with the Goa, we have Arunachal Pradesh also. Arunachal Pradesh, that we got the statehood, and the Mizoram, guys. Okay, and the Mizoram also through the Police Liberation, that is Army Liberation in the year 1961, it got its territory. Okay, but this was not accepted by the National Mizo Front. Okay, but the National Mizo Front opposes to the territory, and they want the special statehood. Okay, in the year 1987, it got its statehood, that is Mizoram, guys. Okay, and after that, guys, these are the ones which I explained. So previous ones are the one which was the external from outside to India, and these we have got the statehood, means on that time we got it as a territory, but now we have given the statehood. Okay, so and after this, in the year 2000, we have formed 3 states, guys. We have formed 3 states. Those 3 states are from the existing states. Like for example, we have formed Chhattisgarh. So we have formed Chhattisgarh. The Chhattisgarh has formed out of the Madhya Pradesh in the year 2000. In the same way, we have formed Jharkhand. So Jharkhand have formed from the Bihar in the 2000, guys. Okay, and so in this manner, that is the Jharkhand, the Chhattisgarh. Okay, and after that we are having the in the year 2014, guys. In the year 2014, finally we have carved the that is Telangana from the Andhra Pradesh. So few districts of the Telangana, few districts of the Andhra Pradesh, it has taken and formed the new state, that is Telangana, guys. Okay, so when we formed Telangana, that is in the year 2014, we have 29 states and 7 union territories. 7 union territories. So this is the update of the 2014. This is in the 2020, guys. So this is at the original. Okay, so guys, from 14 states to 6 union territories. So few states have been formed from these states only. Okay, guys, like for example, the Andhra Pradesh has formed from the Madras. Guys, getting things, Andhra Pradesh has formed from the Madras. Okay, that is on the Madras provinces. From there we have formed Andhra Pradesh. But from Andhra Pradesh again Telangana. So few are formed from 14. These 14 only they have formed the extra, that is within the internal demarcation, and few have acquired from the outside. That is, as I explained, the Dadra, Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, Sikkim. Okay, guys, these they have acquired and we came into the part of the Union of India, guys. Okay, so from 1462, that is 29-7, and now we are having 28 and 8. So this 29 states to 28 states, because the one state that is Jammu and Kashmir have been abolished. So not abolished, it's a state should have been removed. Okay, so it is 28 states. So but the Jammu and Kashmir have been given to 2 union territories. So this means 7 plus 2 9. We should have 9 union territories. But we have only 8 because the union territories of the Daman and Diu and the Dadra and Nagari have been merged and they have made into the one. That's why at present we are having 28 states and the 8 union territories, guys. Guys, the optional, so the scope of the asked questions in this chapter is we have the which state have become the part of the Union of India in which constitutional year and in which year. So that type of question may ask. And the second type of question is the hierarchy. So which state become the part and which state become the later. So in this manner they can ask the questions, guys. Guys, with this I am closing my session. So this is about the states or union territories becoming the part of India, guys. Okay. So two things, internally and externally, guys. Okay. Why? Because by the time 1947 we got independence, we have not get the entire territory of India. So we have got as the days passes. Okay, guys. So thank you one and all. The next chapter for discussion is citizenship. Okay. Thank you one and all.